Thank you. Thank you, Rico. So, David, I'll go ahead and read your bio. Okay.
Okay.
David O handles the regulatory affairs at Opulence Global from his science and pharmaceutical background. David recognized the incredible value of Fairy Flawless as a world class product that delivers on its promise of anti aging. Definitely. His enthusiasm continues with the Fountain of Life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature, and the future development of the safe home revolution. David is honored to be part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the lives of people every day. David, we really welcome you and thank you for all you do for us every Monday evening. Thank you. So, David, the floor is
Oh, thank you,
yours.
Dave.
Yes.
Okay. I'm flying solo tonight, so I'm not really sure how I want to start this, but I thank you for the introduction, and I thank everyone for allowing me to join you tonight. When we're discussing products, and we're going to go back to its roots, and I want to give everyone a sort of an overview of how we sort of got here. Uh, I joined the company quite a few years ago, and the reason I joined is for several reasons. Number one, I met Ramin and Sanaz over the Fairy Flawless line, and I had the honor of really sort of working with the formulator, Tom, on the project. He had done all the formulations, but we sat down and we started doing some analysis of it, exactly what he had created. And he's quite excited about this. And the interesting thing about what he created with Fairy Flawless was a very unique, uh, type of product. It's a regimen. And it started with a hydrating cleanser, and that really was designed to get rid of the debris on the skin, to and to moisturize. One of the things that uh, a lot of companies will tell you is that their cleanser leaves your face feeling tight and dry. And what they're essentially saying to you is that it's causing your skin to age. And I think that we have to be sort of cognizant as to uh, what they're really saying. A lot of times when you look, and one of the causes of aging skin is something simple like your pillow. And I don't know if any of you have ever done this or woken up the next day and found a big line across your face because you slept on a certain thing, your skin has folded, and then you've discovered that you've got a line across your face, and it doesn't seem, you rub it, doesn't seem to want to go away, and eventually it disappears. That line is due to the fact that moisture was withdrawn from your skin. And yet pillow manufacturers and will say that it wicks away moisture. Uh, you don't want that to happen. What it's telling you is that it actually is aging your skin. And so, they take a negative and they spin it into a positive. And the reason I'm telling you this is that when I started looking at the flawless line, I realized that the whole purpose of this is to make it anti-aging. When we had a number of different products, the eyes, the lips, and we sort of replaced that. And I'll push that aside for a moment. But we have the day serum. The day serum was designed to protect our skin and moisturizes and protects. We have the Pisces ABs extract that's in Fountain of Life. And what's really nice about that is this mopping up free radicals. We use that term mopping up, but what it really means is neutralizing any free radicals on our skin, and free radicals causes our skin to age. And so that's what it's doing. And then at night we have the Quad AG. Quad AG has a lot of wonderful features to it, wonderful ingredients, including microsilver. And what it's doing is supporting the restorative process at night when our skin is resting. And that's what it's supposed to do, is to rest and restore and replenish. And our Quad AG does exactly that. And so it is supporting those processes. And in the morning, your skin is on the process of being rehydrated and replenished, recollagenized at that point. So there's a lot of really positive things about our Quad EG that works well overnight. Now, we did have a lip and eye product, but we've foregone those because we're introducing Arctic Vita, our collagen product, which is going to help us replenish the collagen that we lose as we grow older. And as we do grow older, unfortunately, things happen to us. You know, we start looking older. And why do we look older? It's because we've lost hyaluronic acid in our skin and we lost collagen in our skin. And so our skin doesn't seem as bright, it doesn't seem as plump. So we're able to replenish that with Arctic Vita. And as a result, they made the corporate decision removing these two products, but bringing on what may be a better product uh, in the long run, because collagen certainly helps our joints, it helps our skin, it does many things that I think you'll really look forward to seeing, and the results will be quite remarkable in terms of what value it brings to your daily life. And we're not just talking about your appearance, but also with things like your joint health. And you know, any one of you who's listening right now who has any osteoarthritis will appreciate what I'm saying. So it will make a difference. Anyways, so you know, Fairy Flawless sort of began was the root of my journey with Opulence. And during the period of time, uh, when we were discussing this product, I thought it was quite well done. I thought it really made sense. I'm very critical about a lot of products on the market. I take a look at the ingredient list and just take a look to see exactly what they're selling. Is it marketing, or is it really a product that brings value? And I quite get disgusted with some of them, to be honest with you, because I think everyone should start reading ingredient lists, and they'll discover that there are some, uh, anti-aging products that do absolutely nothing because the products are drying, they don't support the skin processes, and they're very expensive. And so when I say expensive, we're talking sometimes thousands of dollars for a jar of product that really does nothing for you. So the more you can educate yourself on this, the better I think you will be in terms of understanding and appreciating skincare and you know how it can really how Fairy Flawless can really make a difference, and in combination with all the other products. And I just want to move to Fountain of Life at this point now, because Fountain of Life became part of the discussion process in the office one day. I was with our formulator, Tom, and we were in Remain's office, and we were discussing the various ingredients. And one of the things that we discussed was the Picea abies extract in Fountain of Life. And Tom and I had met the Dr. A, who discovered this and researched this product probably in 2012. And we were having lunch and we were discussing the possibilities of this product topically because that's exactly where it was used at that point. And he said that his main audience was in sunscreens. And although it wasn't protective against the sun, it was used to neutralize free radical activities in sunscreens, especially in places like Australia and New Zealand, where they had uh, issues and concerns about free radicals on the skin. And so we're talking, and I thought, well, that's really nice. And Tom and I were discussing at that point the possibility of creating uh, some sort of skincare product using, his Picea abies extract. It's now you might know as Fountain of Life. Now, what really happened at that point was sort of astounding when he mentioned to us. And Dr. A is a scientist first and foremost. He is not, I don't consider him a business person, but he's a brilliant, brilliant scientist. And he just said to us in passing, he said, well, by the way, one of my friends and associates came to me and he was told that he had spleen cancer and something I hadn't heard of before. And I've never had I've never seen it through my years of working in the field of oncology. And he said, well, it's one of those rare forms of cancer, and it's 1 in a million chance that you could get it. And his friend was told that he was diagnosed with it, and then he was told that he had 2 weeks to basically live. So go home, get your papers in order, and prepare for the inevitable. And of course, he was distraught, very upset. So he was speaking to Dr. A, and he was asking about this extract that he had in his lab. And they thought, well, let's just try it. It's a powerful antioxidant. He knew that lignans, and this is lignin-based product, had anti-cancer and anti-metastatic benefits to it through the production of interlactone in the body. So they knew that was possible, but they had no idea whether it would work or not. And so he tried it, and he continues to live, from what I know, till this day. Last time I checked, he was still alive. So it was rather remarkable to see. Other people started coming forward that were in his inner circle, and they too had expressed their desire to try the product because they too had been affected by cancer, and so they started using the product, and they're all successful. Now I do know one gentleman stopped using it, and his cancer returned. And there's an assumption by the research community that perhaps uh, there's a possibility, and they started thinking that you might contract cancer, you know, uh, but you don't have to die from it. You have to learn how to live with it. So you can live with cancer under the right circumstances. And they feel at this point that this Pisces extract that is fountain of life can help. Now, this is not a cure for cancer, and it would be erroneous of us to say that. It'd be erroneous of us to go and make these bold claims, but we use it anecdotally and just say this has happened. It could possibly help you live with your cancer. It won't cure it. I can guarantee you it will not cure it, but it could help you maybe live with it, because we have a number of people who attested to that and said, you know what, I have cancer, or I had an associate with cancer, and they've managed to live with it using a product that we know is fountain of life. And as we started bringing this forward and spreading the word around the world, uh, there's been a lot of you know, interesting stories that have come forward. And it does sound a bit, to a person who's brand new, they're going to go, well, what are they saying? Well, some persons talk about arthritis, other dementia, cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes type 2. And yes, it sounds really strange to the layperson, but realize one thing, that the root cause for all these issues is oxidative stress. And lignans in the body have shown and proven to lower oxidative stress in the body. And they found that if they could reverse it, the amount of oxidative stress in the body, it can and reduce ROS, reactive oxygen species in the body. It can reduce some of these other issues, including diabetes type 2. And that was something that was out there for many years, and it was verified in 2018 through a study from Biasiato's group, and it was published in the British Journal of Nutrition. And you all should have at least a breakdown of the study in your back office. And if you don't, please ask for it through head office, because it will help you really understand the power of this product. But over a 60-day period of time, we discovered that yes, it reduced, the LDLs in the system, lowered low density lipoproteins, increased high density lipoproteins, which is the good fatty acids in our system. And if you have a lot of LDLs, it leads to plaque formation and cardiovascular disease. So that was reversed. They found out that fatty liver deposits were also reduced. So, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease can be addressed, with lignans in the diet, it was shown. Visceral fat was reduced as a result, and they found that as a result of all that, it lowered the subject's body weights. So there's a real plus to all this. At the same time, things like insulin resistance was reduced, less stress on the pancreas as a result. So the studies from this group really show the power of the 7-HMR lignin in Fountain of Life, and that's 7-HMR. So it's hydroxymetyresinol, which is in it. There is no potassium in this product. I just want everyone to understand that, especially those kidney patients. That is removed, but the official name is hydroxymetyresinol potassium acetate. That's what it's called. But during the process of manufacture, the potassium acetate part is removed, so you don't have to worry about that, or no one has to worry about that if you're a kidney patient. And it does show that kidney health is improved taking, Fountain of Life, because the extract is very powerful. Before I go any further, are there any questions? No? I'm just gonna go quickly, just take a look. Okay. Regal had new gizmo, no, but FOL, how it was discovered? Well, the discovery, I could go back a little on the discovery process. The the Finnish labs it's interesting. Finland has a very high educational level rate there. Their education's paid for. They got a very unique system there. Uh, Number one, incredibly high education. They're very evolved as a society. 70% of the forest there, and the pulp and paper industry is a huge part of their industry. And 70% of the forests are owned by families. And they have a sustainability program that's been in place for decades because of the pulp and paper industry that has been around for forever there. And so they make sure that they have it's always replenished. And I think that's important for everyone to understand, especially new people here, because I think that's one of the concerns that people have. They'll ask, well, how on earth can we guarantee that we can continue to get this product? And we can guarantee it because the Finnish people have been doing this for decades. Now, where this comes from, it's interesting, is it was discovered in the Norwegian spruce tree. Now, the Norwegian spruce tree grows all around the world. But in northern Finland, where it's very, very harsh, very cold, the Norwegian spruce has adapted itself, and it's adapted itself to be very strong, almost disease-free, pestilence-free. And what happened was some of the scientists noticed that the discarded branches of stem heartwood that's discarded from the pulp and paper industry. And the reason it's discarded is that it's got darker wood, and they don't want dark wood into that ruins the process of manufacturing paper. So the scientists noticed that the stem heartwood that was placed on the ground will they will not rot. And they found that it wasn't breaking down and they couldn't understand it. And so one of the scientists took a sample of it and placed it in the freezer. And like a lot of scientists, they forgot all about it until their wife mentioned it to them that they were going to throw it out. if he doesn't do anything with it. They started studying in earnest, and they discovered it had a high quality and a high quantity of lignans, and they felt that this was an important discovery. They tested other trees. They went to the south of, and this is growing in northern Finland. But they went to the south of Finland and they tested other trees, Norwegian spruce trees, and it didn't have the same amount of lignans. And so they realized that they had one area of Finland that the trees have adapted, and they're very powerful, and they have a high source of lignans. Now that was how it was really sort of discovered. And the application, first of all, as I mentioned, was in sunscreens. The big issue and the big challenge, according to Dr. A, was although this was discovered, and yes, anecdotally, he had people using it who had some serious health issues. Uh, he didn't know how to get it on the market. He said it was not possible in the government's eyes to show that you can eat a spruce tree. And that was one of the issues that he saw, getting it to the market. And because I did ask him, I said, if this product is so good and it helps so many people with their various health issues, I said, why is it not being sold everywhere? And he said, you have to be able to convince the government you can eat a spruce tree. And so and I remember sitting there at lunch with him, and we discussed the possibility of working together at that point. I said, let's find the right venue for this. Let's find the right way of getting this to market with the right company. And he said, well, if you have any luck, give me a call. Now, we did reach out to several companies to no avail. And so we sort of stopped. And then when I came across the opportunity to work with Opulence at that point, Tom and I both sat down with Ramin and Sanaz and discussed the possibilities of bringing the Pisces extract to the world. And they're very interested in this because there was no other company that had taken on this step. And it was a very difficult step because we had to go for an NPN in Canada, which is a natural product number or part of the NHPs, which is a natural health products system in Canada. And Canada is very unique because it's just a tier below a pharmaceutical drug. So it's classed as a medicine. And so that's why we have it on our bodies, bottles, medicinal and non-medicinal. That's not a choice from Opulence. I just want everyone to realize that we're not choosing that verbiage. It is the verbiage of Health Canada who recognizes the power of these products. And so we went forward and tried to get the license for this to produce, sell, and market this product. It took a long time. It took a very long time to do this, and it was a little disconcerting because they came back to me several times and said they wanted more information about this product that we're now calling Fountain of Life. They want to know, well, why on earth would anyone want to ingest this? Why on earth? What value does it bring? What type of product it is? And we couldn't embellish at that point too much. We couldn't say that. Obviously, we can't say that it's used for people with cancer or cardiovascular disease or anything like that. We're just not allowed to say it. And so we agreed that we could call it a powerful antioxidant. And Health Canada allows us to say it, it's stated on the bottle as a result, and it's been works very, very well. And then once we got the NPN, we were able to distribute it successfully, and it opened up the doors to many countries who wanted to see what this product was all about. And so we've had many people try it. We've had, if you look at our Facebook page, you'll see the number of people who've had successful interactions with Fountain of Life. And it's because of the reduction of the oxidative stress in the body, which continues to plague people. That doesn't go away. It's a continuous thing, and it's a very difficult um, issue to resolve. And oxidative stress is a result of free radical activity. And if you're really brand new to this, and if you don't understand what free radical activity is, free radical activity is a result of free radicals. And what free radicals uh, are, it sounds really innocuous when I say this, but it's molecules missing an electron. And it doesn't seem like much, but we're bombarded by this every day from pollution, pesticides, smoking, uh, alcohol use, stress. This all leads to free radical activity in our body. And our bodies have been designed, when we're designed to really handle a lot of issues, including free radicals. And with that in mind, our bodies create superoxide dismutase, glutathione. We do this automatically and it protects us. But over time, we stop making it efficiently. We stop making things efficient in our body. That includes glutathione and superoxide dismutase. We stop making collagen efficiently. And as a result, that's when we start looking older. Our skin starts to sag. All these things that are attributed to the aging process. And so when we're looking at all this, when we're looking at the challenges as we grow older, and the idea that free radical activity in our bodies is going to cause issues, we need the products that are going to reduce the oxidative stress that we're feeling. And this product here, Fountain of Life, is something I would encourage people to try. Now, when you are trying this, and how much to use, uh, you can use, this is a very, very safe product. If you're gonna, I calculated that you would have to essentially drink 35 bottles in one sitting to start feeling sort of not well. That's a lot of bottles, and I would never recommend that. It does taste a little like wood because it is from a coniferous tree. However, the bitter tones of this product will go away in time, and it's sort of wonderful to see how our bodies acclimate to the flavor of it. But people can, when you're starting it out, you can drink it in water. You can drink it with juice. You could put it. Some people put it in your yogurt, porridge, whatever. As long as it's all at the same time. How much to take? Well, we started out. It's sort of funny. We started out with 5 drops for one drop for every 10 kilos of body we're talking about. And then we thought, well, from what we calculated from what the scientists gave to us, it should have been about 10 drops a day. And then in 2018, Biasiato's group came forward with some more studies, and we discovered that their successes were based upon 30 drops of Fountain of Life a day, 30 drops of 7-HMR a day, and which is a marked difference. And I'll tell you why that's important, because I have osteoarthritis in my left knee because I broke my leg so many times that I've developed osteoarthritis, and there's nothing I can do about that. However, to get rid of the stress in my knee joint, I was taking 10 drops a day, and I was living with some discomfort. It seemed to help, and I've been taking this for a long time, and we're talking since probably 2012 when I first met Dr. A. Um, the interesting thing is in 2018 when Biasiato's paper came out, I upped it to 30 drops a day. And went a little higher some days with that. I discovered something interesting that my body reacted, and the actual oxidative stress and the pain associated with osteoarthritis actually disappeared to the point that I'm no longer the knee replacement list. I'm not sure. I hope that holds up, but never know because I'm doing some things that are stressing my knee joints. But maybe I'm gonna have to stop. But I'm a guy and I'm getting old, and sometimes we're not smart about things. So I got to figure that part out. However, having said that, I do notice that there's a market change, and these studies that are coming out are really important. Now, one of the questions people have is, well, why did it take to 2018 to, get these studies out? And the thing is that our main sources of the lignin in Fountain of Life was things like wheat and nuts, and they were destroyed in the processing of these products. And for years, the scientists did not realize the abundance of this lignin in these foodstuffs. Now, our forefathers used to eat, a wheat varieties like emmer, spelt, and einkorn, and it was high in lignans, especially the 7-HMR. Now, 70% of the world's population eats wheat, and in order to feed all these people, we started engineering things like dwarf wheat. And dwarf wheat is a wonderful product. It feeds a lot of people, but is low in nutrient value. And that's why when you buy flour these days and processed flours, you see how it's fortified with different vitamins, that they're not fortifying it with lignans. So the lignin is actually lost in this. So everyone should realize that our foods are not providing us with the lignans that we do need. And they're seeing changes in society. I was talking to one researcher who thinks that road rage has something to do with the lack of lignans. I don't know how that really, whether that's true or not, to be honest with you. But it's sort of funny that they think that our mental health is being affected because we're not taking in enough lignans into our system. Now, the average person takes in 1 milligram of lignans a day. One. Some, in most places, are less than one. What we're supposed to be taking in is 50 to 100 times that. So if you think about that, we're really devoid of something that's important for our well-being. And it's sort of funny, we had to dig up these things. I had never met a doctor, and I've worked with doctors throughout my whole life. And they're a brilliant group, but no one has ever mentioned to me the word lignin. No one's ever said, "Are you taking a lignans?" They'll say, "What are you eating? Are you eating a balanced diet? Are you supplementing your diet with vitamins?" It's interesting. Now, the recent studies have shown, and I've said this before, from the Yale researchers, is that if you're supplementing your diet with anything, you should be supplementing your diet with products because you're devoid of them in your diet. I guarantee almost everyone on this call who isn't taking Fountain of Life are devoid of lignans. And that could be affecting your overall health. And the thing is, a lot of these disease states, like arthritis, like cardiovascular disease, it doesn't occur in a month. It doesn't occur in a week. It doesn't occur in a year. Unfortunately, it takes years for it to develop. And we can sort of circumvent that. We can stop the progression of illness by taking a product like Fountain of Life, because it's going to reduce the oxidative stress. It's going to lead to so many other health issues. Now, I would encourage anyone to try this, anyways. This is something I've encouraged a lot of people to try. And Fountain of Life is sort of a versatile product. It can be used topically. If you're using it topically, it looks innocuous again. It looks like a golden sort of elixir, if I can't use a better term. And people think, well, I'm just gonna put it on my skin. Some people's skin's very sensitive. It's very, very powerful. So never forget that. And the most ideal way of using it is it's a 5% solution. So if you're adding it to your routine, your skincare routine, whatever, you got some things that you want to place on your skin, like a skin cream, make a 5% solution of this. So for every 100 mils of skin cream, just add in 5 mils of Fountain of Life. And that gives you optimal value. you're not wasting anything from that, and you'll get some benefit from that. You know, you can put more of it in, but it's not going to add anything to it. So 5% is your optimal level of fountain of life in a preparation. It can help. Now we were talking about at one point for things like toothaches because it can reduce the bacterial load in the mouth, and you can just swish it around the mouth, and that does help. So if you have gum disease, it does help. If you're bleeding gums, it does help. You know, we've formulated other products, and I'm not ignoring those at all because I think they're wonderful. I use them on a regular basis. But Fount of Life has some versatility to it. And the one thing to recognize is the beauty industry is looking for products like Fountain of Life. And why is that? Because they know that beauty starts from within. This whole concept started a couple years ago when they started talking about beauty from within. And what they're talking about is oxidative stress causing issues. So even if you put all the makeup in the world on top of your skin, if you're suffering from inflammation, chronic inflammation internally, it's not going to help you look better. Okay, so you need to do something about the chronic inflammation, and you can use products like Fountain Life. We just introduced Divine. This will help you reduce the chronic inflammation in your bodies. That's gonna, it does impact your appearance. And so your beauty starts from within. So if you're talking to anyone, or if you're thinking about, you know, how can I appear younger? Let's start with what you're doing to yourself internally. And if you could reduce the amount of oxidative stress and chronic inflammation in your body, then you've already started to move forward to reducing the impact of aging, to create a healthier skin, and that allows you to add in products like the Fairy Flawless line. And the Fairy Flawless line just augments everything that this does because what it's doing is it's working on a surface. It's not uh, chronically inflamed. And I think people should understand the value of this. I hope you understand the value of it because, you know, the whole beauty industry right now is they're seeking products like this. They're seeking products like Divine and Fountain of Life because they want to add that to their skincare regimen. They want people to use a total regimen from inside and out. And we have to consider that at all times. That and now with Arctic Vita, our collagen product, it's going to even enhance it more. It's going to help reduce the amount of chronic inflammation. And with collagen added into our diet, it's going to help improve our joints, which I'm all for, and as well as you know, our skin tone and our skin texture. And I think that you really you know, we're at the stage now where we realize that you don't have to look the age that you think you're supposed to look. You know, there's no need to be you know, a 50-year-old and say, oh, okay, my skin looks this way because I'm 50. You don't have to accept these challenges from life. You can control them, you can reduce them. And there's no reason why you shouldn't use an anti-aging regimen. And when do you start? You start when you're young. Okay, aging unfortunately starts when we're, you know, young. And so we can build upon that. We could create a great regimen. We could keep our skin looking healthy. And at the same time, if we're doing that, your skin looking healthy internally, if you're using the right products, it's going to help stave off chronic inflammation, the free radical activity in our bodies that are so negative. And as a result of that, you should reduce the chances. And I'm saying reduce the chances because there's no way I can guarantee it. No one can guarantee it, but you can reduce the chances of developing some sort of serious, you know, issues as we grow older. I'm just trying to see. Okay, someone asked, Vernon asked, how were we able to obtain a level 3 classification from Health Canada? Uh, let me tell you, though, Health Canada is sort of one of these institutions that are constantly changing, and they're challenging. And when we applied for Fountain of Life, they didn't have this detailed classification system. What they have, when you're applying for a natural health product number, you go through a number of steps. I've done tons of these. And the first one is called a compendial application. And a compendial application is one where it's already decided they do use a monograph. So Health Canada has already assessed these things, and they say if you're using these ingredients for this issue, let's say, for example, hand sanitizers. Hand sanitizers are compendial, so they'll say you can make these claims using these items, and therefore this is the steps you have to do, and it's called a class one. Back then, it's just called a compendial application, and it's been like that for years. But they changed it around 2019. It was after we got our NPN number. But class two is considered a mix, meaning that you have some compendial and some, other information that they're asking for. A class three is a little more, and a lot more detailed. It's usually non-traditional, and so what they're doing is we're applying um, and providing information about the product. So maybe it's a new product they haven't seen before. They want to know all sorts of information, safety studies, all this stuff. And as a result, they will give you class three if you can provide all that. Now, we went through this exercise and this didactic years ago. However, they didn't officially give us a class three. We went back and reminded them, basically saying, we supplied you with all this information. And we like to class this as a class three because it's a non-traditional application, which Health Canada agreed. They said, yes, you've supplied us with the information. It is a class three. This allows us to make more claims. We're not as restricted as we were before, and we're just going through that process of just saying what we can and what we can't say. It's a bit tricky still. It always is with these government agencies, but at the same time, it allows us to explore further. If it was class one, we will only be able to make the claims that they state. Um, Class two is again a little more, but again, it's what they state. Class three allows us to make further claims about our own product, and we will see how we can move forward. But of course, with any agency, we have to get permission all the time. We just can't, go out and make bold claims because we will be challenged by different agencies. So, uh, I've given you guys a lot of information. Um, you know, okay, I think I've seen one. We have a 60 plus slim lady customer with very high cholesterol, tinnitus for 10 years, high anxiety. Didn't like FOL nor divine caps. She's on many medication. How can she move forward? I don't know why she didn't like the product. Like, why didn't she like the product? Is there a reason why she didn't like the product? Being slim has nothing to do with cholesterol. If you're expecting people, like, it's sort of funny when I was in working in the operating room, I used to think that big fat guys with big stomachs had huge stomachs, and these small ladies who are very slim and tiny and petite had small stomachs, and I was totally wrong. I was totally wrong. I discovered that, the physiology of a person can be very different. So, so I know that we think that, oh, that person's really slim, they don't have high blood pressure. There are other factors involved with that. Okay. Anxiety, insomnia, all these things can be part of someone's life, but for them to say that they didn't like FOL or divine capsules, I think that we have to know why she didn't like it. She's on many medications. I can't answer this one because there are too many unknowns here. Maybe the medications don't agree with this. And did she check with her doctor? You have to, when you're taking multiple medications, you should never add in any other other thing, a supplement, or even a change in diet. You really don't recommend that. If you are on multiple medications and they're long term, please talk to your doctor. Your doctor knows that they might say, you know what, you can't add this to your diet. And if they say, well, they're going to say, oh, I don't know what fountain of life is, so don't take it. Uh, that's your easy answer. But if they ask that question and you have that conversation, just say, is it okay for me to take flaxseed? Because it converts to enterolactone. Flaxseed converts to enterolactone just like Fountain of Life, except Fountain of Life does it more powerfully and faster and more efficiently. There's not as much product loss as in flaxseed. So if they ask you that question, if you say, well, am I allowed could I take something like Fountain Life or anything like that on these meds? Um, they go, never heard of Fountain of Life. And everything in Divine they've heard about, to be honest with you. But Fountain of Life, they probably not sure what you're talking about. Just say, is it okay for me to add flaxseed into my diet? And they'll say yes or no. Okay. So I think, where are we right now? Oh, we're at the end of the call. Um, doesn't finds it to be bitter, doesn't mean it has some. No. Does it follow that when a person finds it to be bitter, meaning he has health issues? Yeah, absolutely not. The one thing to understand about us as human beings is that there are how many taste sensations? Sweet, sour, salty, umami, and bitter. And so when we take a look at these five taste sensations, the one that's really sort of, sort of off is probably bitter. And bitter for years is sort of like one of those wake-up calls. A lot of things that are not nice to us are bitter. And so it's a warning type of thing for our bodies. And we sort of, we do sort of key on that. And so it doesn't mean you have health issues. It means that the product itself you should take a look at to make sure that it's safe. Because there's a lot of things that are bitter that aren't good for you. Now they discovered that bitter is not bad, and there's a lot of chefs that are adding uh, bitter notes into the foods that we're eating. So no, this has nothing to do with your health. It has everything to do with you know the taste sensations that we can sense. And so bitter has been one of those that it seems negative, but right now they're discovering there's a lot of positives to bitter. So in closing, I hope that helps everyone. I know I sort of rambled a lot and I apologize, but I hope some of this information helps you. Just remember that, there's a lot of powerful things we could say. There's no need to go beyond that. We've got some very powerful products, and I think it'll do well. It should always do well because you can make changes in people's lives, and that's one thing that I think maybe I failed to tell you enough times, but the one thing I did enjoy about joining Opulence Global and looking at this product called um, Fountain of Life is that I knew you can make a difference. Now, I had a choice at that point. I remember I was working on laser technologies to reduce cardiovascular disease. But again, like I always tell people, it's going to take me 25 years to do that. And I don't want to be sitting around for the next 15 years or so just trying to get this product to be Health Canada approved. I thought that something like Fountain Life has value to someone immediately, and I thought that we can make a difference in people's lives. And that was one of the rationales. I want everyone to understand this, that Dr. A felt our ability to talk to people one-on-one and send a message to people one-on-one was one of the greatest values that he saw. And he wanted to work with opulence as a result of that. That each person can tell people the value of the product, as opposed to placing it on the shelf and hoping someone's going to discover it. You can make a difference. So I hope everyone will at least try this, and I would encourage you to at least try it. And if you're going to try it, give it a month. Give it 60 days according to Biasiato. And you should start seeing changes that will help. But remember, it didn't take 60 days to get to the state you're in. If you have arthritis, it might take you longer. That's the unfortunate reality of this, but your journey has started. And make notes. When you start, make notes as to where you are. If you have, let's say you've got chronic pain in your knees or in your wrist, take notes, because in 60 days, it's the amazing thing is that we have terrible memories. We forget. We forget the discomfort, pain that we had. We take it for granted because we have this ability to block out pain. We have the ability to forget that we were in pain. So take notes and see if you're on the journey or not. Okay. I hope that helps. I don't know if Mavis is on.
Thank you very, very much,
Oh,
David.
there you are.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sorry, I rambled a lot, but I hope it helps people.
Oh, no, it's rambling. It's not rambling. We all enjoy, and there are a lot of messages here. Awesome training, excellent information, David. Thank you. Very good information. We all appreciate you, and we look forward to hearing you every Monday night because you have knowledge that none of us have, and we really look forward to having it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David, for such an evening of invaluable knowledge. Good night, everyone, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Take care. Thanks, Mavis.
You're welcome.